Jimmy Butler averaged 9 points in games 3, 4, and 5 against the Celtics this series.
What happened?
Yeah, he was bad. Butler was apparently hurt. Everyone wrote off the Heat.
You're asking me who I want to play. I'm going to tell you who I think we're going to play. We're going to play Boston.
Okay,
That's who we're going to play.
Thank you.
Alright, we get it. It's over for the Heat.
Turns, fires, it's good! As the shot clock expires, Jimmy Butler.
Yup, Butler dropped 47 points, 9 assists, 8 boards, 3 steals, playing 46 minutes. And the Heat won. This is Butler's 4th 40-point game this playoffs, the 2nd this series. But it's confusing. We know Butler doesn't go 100% in the regular season. Playoff Butler has been a thing for years, from the Timberwolves leading the 76ers and then being one shot away from being the Kawhi Raptors, to Butler having a 40-point triple-double in the NBA Finals. I've gone on players like Harden for being inconsistent.
No skill at all.
Especially when it matters, but Butler shows up when you need it, right? Yet how can he go from single-digit point games to the best game of his career? Jimmy Butler is a superstar when he wants to be, and here's how. What is up, dudes, that's Ballers Players. It's your boy MJ. I just like how every Heat player is thanking Draymond.
Udonis Haslem just coming over. He is so fired up, Mark.
He wants a message to be relayed. He said, tell Draymond Green thank you. Draymond Green said, we're going to play the Boston Celtics. Udonis Haslem walk over and says, thank you for the inspiration.
Hey, tell Draymond I said I appreciate it.
Haslem's still out here. Huh. Butler is one of those players that does not care about stats one bit as long as his team gets the win. If the team is thriving without him, he'll defend, be a floor general, set screens, and end up with 11 points on 6 shots. And his usage will be under 15%. It's what can make the regular season, even some playoff games for Butler, look mundane. Just like over 80% of y'all are mundane by not subscribing. So please subscribe. Also, if you're watching this before Game 7, give your prediction down below. It's all about 3 metrics for Butler. Butler's first quarter, how many touches he gets, and his 3-point shooting, 2 of which he can sorta guide. When Butler has a good first quarter, he typically has a good game. In his top 20 first quarter scoring games in the playoffs, Butler is averaging 30 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.9 assists. He comes out aggressive, which usually leads into Butler handling the ball a lot. He's looking for his shot, he's looking to make plays, he's not just fading out into the background. And no, this isn't just some bubble phenomenon.
For now, and keep it at basketball.
Hey, yo!
But now we can actually watch them play live and not be on screens.
Hey, yo!
And the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, got you covered. SeatGeek is a ticketing app that makes buying tickets super simple. Green dots mean that you're getting a good deal. Red dots, orange dots mean not so much. And it gives you a view of what you're seeing and not get put behind Taco Fall.
That's tough.
Ripple effect.
And it's not just for basketball, it's for MMA, concerts, football, music festivals, and more. I got tickets to see Kendrick right here. I might need to cop me some Celtics Heat tickets because, wait, hold up. That's actually a really good deal and good seats because I want to see that flopping live.
Brown looks to save it. Tatum in a long turn to the Celtic bench.
I am perplexed.
And don't worry, I got the hookup. So use code ALLDAY to get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Click the link in the description, download the app, and go watch the playoffs live because we can now. It's literally the best basketball in the season, and you don't want to miss it. Good aggressive first quarters lead to Butler being the floor general of the team, where he can probe defenses, draw attention, and make these great passes in the air where it's off a drive or these cross-court jump passes. We especially saw this in the finals, but mans was dying.
Help me!
For example, in Game 6, Butler had 88 touches. The 4 games before that, he averaged 55.6 touches per game. Butler in the regular season averages 68.8 touches per game. Give Butler more touches and give him more time to probe. But all this works because Butler is freakishly strong at his size. He is not a consistent shooter. Redick and Bev made that clear.
in the threes from three for the last
First of all,
2
Jimmy
years.
Butler missed some time during the season. Let's take that into consideration. A lot of times,
Why would you? What does it have to do with the shooting percentages? What is that? Jimmy Butler has basically decided to not shoot threes. Now he's knocking down threes somewhere in the 30s during the playoffs.
I'm not dismissing his numbers.
It's not decided.
In these playoffs, Butler is shooting 40% from mid-range, which is pretty high for him. He shot 30% from mid in 2019. And don't get me started on the inconsistent three-point shooting. Butler can hit the most difficult of shots, but still be left wide open and not take threes because, well, he's not a good shooter, shooting 31.7% from three in the past 4 years. So even in the modern game, Butler is still dominating without shooting, but how? Butler put on more muscle during the pandemic, up to 230 pounds at 6'7", while lowering his body fat to 4.3%. So 2.9 pounds per inch of mostly muscle. For reference, LeBron James is 3.08 pounds per inch, which is pretty close. Al Horford is 240 pounds. So Butler is capable of just driving his way through defenses, especially if he gets ahead of steam. And considering the fact that he has dropped a lot of his fat, he's also pretty quick. Butler isn't necessarily amazing at one thing. He's not overly quick, he doesn't have crazy vertical, but the ability to be good at pretty much everything is what allows the Heat to succeed. So when Butler decides to be aggressive, his strength is a constant factor. It's actually the same way I think about LeBron. It's not practical that LeBron powered through contact every possession, let alone every game in the regular season, and even in the playoffs because his body wouldn't last and his play would deteriorate by the time he got to the conference finals and finals. But even then, LeBron is a freak of nature. Players bounce off him, and man didn't even get hurt for 15 years, like what Wade said.
But I've also know that guys can roll their ankle and be out 4 weeks. I've seen this guy roll his ankle and come back and give you about 20 in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about a bad roll ankle, and I'm like, oh, he done. He come right back. I'm out 4 weeks with this roll ankle. He come right back, fourth quarter, scored 20.
Maybe LeBron really is a cyborg. We all saw how exhausted Jimmy was in the 2020 finals. He needs to pace himself, which is why Butler isn't a superstar in the regular season. Butler is not LeBron. His body cannot just survive the constant contact that LeBron takes. Yet, he can choose to be a superstar by sacrificing his body in certain games. Alright, this sounds like some anime shit, but it's true. For example, Butler has been banged up this series. He has some knee issues, but he chose Game 6, the elimination game, to really turn up and just put his body on the line. Which finally gets me to the shooting, because in Game 6, Butler was on one. 4 of 7 from 3, hitting constant middies. Like I've said, Butler is super inconsistent, but when he's got his jump shot going and he's aggressive, defenses step up, and Butler is able to probe deeper into defense as we saw against the Celtics in Game 6. This allows him to drive with a bit more ease. Butler has been averaging 14 drives per game these playoffs, 9th in the entire league. So when he has a good shooting game, his entire game opens up. It's not that he relies on the shooting, but it's that third X factor. So that's how Butler at times is a role player and at times a superstar. He's picking his spots in an effort to preserve himself, and while it can be infuriating to see Butler have off games, it also allows us to see superstar Butler in the best of moments. But what do you think? Where does Butler rank in the NBA right now? Follow me on Twitter for my live thoughts. The all-day notification shout out goes to Kev Duggaroo. Man's on a roll. Thanks for the all-day support. Check out SeatGeek to get those NBA Finals tickets and actually get a good deal. And if you're still here, you'll really want to comment buckets so I know. Drop a like if you like the video, and subscribe, turn noise on if you really like the video. I got another video coming out either tomorrow or Tuesday in preparation for the NBA Finals. It's your boy MJ. We out, and we vibing.
Okay, just hop in my spaceship. Okay, just hop in my spaceship. No.